Good morning, Hawk fans, and welcome to another edition of Hear from the Hawks. Today is Field Hockey Day on Hear from the Hawks. I'm Joe Lunardi, as always, and we are joined by some of the stars and the head coach of field hockey at St. Joseph's University. And as always, Hear from the Hawks, brought to you by our great partners at Univest Bank. And we hope today is an opportunity to hear about one of the top programs at SJU. If you haven't heard about the field hockey success at St. Joseph's in recent years, you're going to hear plenty about it in the next 30 or 40 minutes. And we are delighted to welcome the head field hockey coach at SJU, Lynn Farquhar, along with three of her standout seniors. I hope I'm saying this right. Jordan Olenginski, right? Cassidy Atchison, and I'm told she has a first name, just only goes by Fenton, but Nicole Fenton. And we're going to get into all of your stories in a moment. I'm thinking, Lynn, about an ad campaign that used to run at St. Joe's for a number of years. And the ad campaign was, "We're ranked every year, ... And it was actually about the academic rankings of the institution. And we would play off of whatever sports team was ranked at that time, not thinking that there would actually be a sports team at St. Joe's that was ranked every year. But you are and have been for several years now in the top 20, the top 15, even the top 10 in NCAA Division I field hockey. And I guess we'll start by saying, when you came to St. Joseph's, 7 years ago now, what was it that led you to think that this could all be possible?
Well, I love the ad campaign. I didn't know about it, but I would say it was the ad that brought me here, because I knew that ... could be us. But really, it was an opportunity to build. I played at Old Dominion, and I connect with my coach every now and then. She actually just came out with another book, so I would recommend reading some of her stuff. She's one of the all-time winningest coaches in NCAA history in any sport, 9 national championships. But she always told me, go somewhere where you can build. And then I got a couple calls when the job came open, actually before I even read about it and looked into it. The atmosphere it provided, an academic caliber, an awesome location, and kind of a diamond in the rough opportunity to create something. So here we are.
And there's been some history. I go back to a classmate of mine, Linda Bonanno, who was setting all these records for scoring when I didn't know field hockey from ice hockey from street hockey. And some would say I still don't, but the history was there, but maybe not the national level of competitiveness that has been built in the last few years. What was it that you saw there was a lot of talent in the area that could be kind of brought to bear? Or
Sure.
did you just think, hey, here's a school that's making a commitment to my sport, we can do this?
Well, first, you're right about Linda. She was one of our guest speakers, and she came in and actually encouraged Anna Willix to take the reins, which is pretty cool. So those two are both in the record books now. So every spring we bring back an alum. And at the time, Linda was at Penn State, so she came down and visited us, and that was amazing. I can't remember if Fenton or Jordan were here. They missed out on that one. But the alums, outstanding. We also had Chrissy Holick came in. All of my years blend right now. I think COVID has just shuffled everything around. But Chrissy came in, and she was another inspiration. I know KB, one of our sophomores, refers back to her all the time to say, wow, this was the group that won our first A10 title, and she came in, and I want to be better because of them. And that's something that we take a lot of pride in, is that tradition. Michelle Finnegan, awesome coach as well, was playing on the national team and coaching. It's a lot. So that generation to start St. Joe's history has been huge, and we take a lot of pride in what they did to get us here too.
Lynn, I hate to tell you, it's not COVID that makes the years run together. It's getting older
Might be that, and kids maybe.
and being a parent. That's exactly right. You know, someday we'll do a show on how you manage to be ranked every year and be a great mom, and for that matter, you know, survive Carl. But that's another story altogether.
Fenton's laughing at that one.
Yeah, I'll bet. But I mean, you mentioned the dirty 5-letter word, which we promise not to talk about too much, of COVID. And before we introduce your student athletes, I mean, can you take us kind of the short version through the last 18 months or so about losing a season and then moving a season and then trying to keep everyone engaged, and now you're going to play back-to-back seasons in a way. From a coaching leadership standpoint, what's the pandemic been like for you?
Sure. Well, I don't think anybody initially is going to be excited about the pandemic. However, just like anything, great challenges bring different types of opportunities. So in the beginning, it hit everybody. Nobody, I don't think, was really expecting it to hit us so quickly as a university. I mean, you hear the news, and then I think we were on spring break, and all of a sudden everybody just kind of flocked and went their own way because you had to. And then for us as a program, there's always something that really helps ground us. And we know that the kind of the culture and the growth of us as people is really important. So over that summer, we brought in the power of moments, and we were going to create our own opportunities and just look at what we can control. Another book that I found really interesting is Change or Die. People don't like change. It's a lot. And that's COVID has brought constant change. There is no consistency. There is no rhythm. You can't plan a calendar. So these guys, they come to sport and a training session, and typically they know on Tuesday, oh, it's competition day. Love it or hate it, but I know what I'm going to get into, and I'm going to get myself ready. And now you show up and you don't know what numbers you're going to have. You don't know what you can do at training. And then even it was funny looking at your NCAA basketball interviews. I think Jay Wright is talking about, well, I think our defense is awful because we haven't spent that time. So as a coach now, you're thinking, well, I have today. What's the most important thing I need to plug in today? So the change has been something we've been managing. However, I give these guys a ton of credit, and they can probably speak on some of the tools we're trying to do behind the scenes. We brought in Carlette Patterson, the well-being, and again, just taking a bit of ownership about, look, there's so many things in life I can't control, but I can do this. And I have my team, and my team is powerful, and I have a support group, and our institution did a great job of allowing us to get up and running in the fall, and we had the opportunity to train. And maybe it wasn't what we would have wished for in the fall, obviously, because we had no games, but we created our own. We created a crimson and a gray. And I will say we have 5 seniors, and 3 of them here are captains. This leadership from our upperclassmen has been tremendous. So when you're looking at a culture and then them carrying a workload to say, we got this, and supporting those underclassmen who really don't quite know what the program is yet like, they've done an amazing job and have really helped me juggle it all. And we've had a lot of new as a staff. So I'm proud of us as a program, just picking up the pieces and saying, we're going to be the best we can be. And we know we have the support group to do it.
Jordan, let's start with you. Jordan Olaginski from Northeast Pennsylvania, Mountaintop specifically, found her way down the Northeast Extension to City Avenue. And obviously you've been a part, like your fellow captains here, of some pretty high level winning at SJU. What attracted you to St. Joe's on and off the field? Because now you're headed to med school, which is just extraordinary. I hope they let you in there with all those championship rings on your fingers.
Yeah, so I guess off the field, the sense of really home and community attracted me to St. Joe's. I'm from a small town, so it kind of was an easy transition for me in that aspect. But then on the field hockey side of things, I really saw when I committed, we weren't very good. Like I think we were 60th or something in the country. So I think when I came to my visit, I saw Lynn's vision and what she saw, like the potential in our program. And I really wanted to be a part of building something up like that. So I thought that was really cool, building something from the ground up. So that's really what attracted me most. And when I was on my visit, it was it was okay for me to major in biology and still play field hockey, which that's not okay at a lot of the other schools. So that's something that I
Mhm.
really wanted to. I knew I wanted to go to med school when I was looking at college, so that was something that was really big for me. I didn't want to change my career plans just to play at a certain school. So St. Joe's allowed me to do what I wanted with my career and play some really competitive hockey.
Pretty ridiculous restriction, don't you think, for a student athlete to be told what they can and can't major in? I don't want to get all political on us, but kudos to the coaches and kudos to the institution, right? But like, did you really get told you couldn't be a pre-med at other places?
I mean, it wasn't like you can't do this, but it's like we recommend not doing it. So, what I
Yeah.
really liked about St. Joe's in our program is that academics will always come first, and like your future will always come first. It's never field hockey comes first. So that's what I really liked about our program.
Well, and
Jordan, you
Joe,
need to be in one. Yeah, go ahead, Lynn.
it's pretty impressive too what Jordan has done. I think what's unique about us too is finding a way and always just building who you are is so important. So Jordan has done research with the professor over summer breaks. She plays in our high performance, which is essentially a summer league that's a pipeline into a national team selection. Dan Gallagher is a St. Joe's alum that she's made a great connection with, who's come and done some leadership with us. So when you look at you mentioned the student athlete and that whole package, it's really exciting for me. And you'll see it with Cassidy and Fenton as well, what they do off the field. I wonder how they do it, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that's really the charm of having the student athletes as part of these episodes, because we have parents and supporters and boosters and friends of the program, all of our programs, and we see the 2 hours that you're competing, but what about the other 22? Right? It's a big deal. Jordan, you should be in one of those commercials, maybe all three of you. We're the NCAA and our student athletes are going pro in something other than sports, right? We've been getting beaten up by these commercials for the last month. And Jordan, well, congratulations on your success. Feel free to postpone medical school as long as it takes to bring another championship to Hawk Hill.
Thank you.
Cassie, you transferred to St. Joseph's. Cassie Atchison from Virginia Beach, Virginia, started at Boston College, obviously had a thing for Jesuit schools, and then finally saw the light and realized that the best one was actually in Philadelphia. But transferring is another part of the landscape, which is pretty common now in high level intercollegiate athletics. Cassie, what was your path to Philadelphia's Jesuit University?
Yeah, I mean, I think the increase in transferring just has to do with, being recruited so young. I'm thinking like I was 16 at the time that I was looking around at schools, and the evolution that I've had as a student, as an athlete, and just as a person in terms of what I want to study, what my goals are, has really changed, a lot since then. So, when I was looking around at schools and I came to visit St. Joe's, I had a really positive experience with the coaching staff, same as Jordan when she was getting recruited. Lynn just had a really great vision. And of course, the program was at a different standpoint than the rest of my class was freshman year. So sophomore year, they were had a few championships, had a couple runs into the tournament. So that was something that I thought was really attractive. I hadn't gone to the NCAA tournament at that point in my career. So that was something that I really wanted and was a dream of mine. So that championship, getting the conference win and getting that bid to the NCAA tournament was something that I thought was really cool, created a championship culture. Academically, a Jesuit school offers, multiple areas of interest. I'm a political science major now, and I was a business major at BC. So I had that transition as well. But just the culture, the coaching staff, the vision of the program was really attractive to me. And I love the campus, and it was a little bit closer to home, which was an added bonus. So yeah, I mean, and we had great success last fall, and we're looking to continue that even this spring, even with the adversity that COVID has posed. But like Lynn said, we're looking at it as an opportunity rather than a performance barrier, as Carlette would call it. So we're looking forward to continuing that and making the most out of this season.
Cassie, it says here that in between seasons that you're running for the open Senate seat in Pennsylvania with an eye on the White House in the future. Is that true?
I've talked to Lynn about this. I'm not sure what my future plans are. I'm debating on coming back for a 5th year, but I would love to be in politics. It's an interesting time right now. So hopefully DC can get, back to kind of where it was pre-COVID. And, I'd love to work on the Hill or, do some other things in that arena, but I really do love what I study. And I think politics still has that competitive edge that I think athletics offers as well. So it'll be an interesting career field if that's what I choose to pursue.
Another participant in an NCAA future ad campaign, no doubt. If you're wondering why we went in the order that we did with the student athletes, it's because our third captain is extremely shy and, needed to be warmed up to speak in a public manner. Nicole Fenton, the pride of Ocean City, New Jersey, Marmora, Ocean City High, and host of the new Live at Diorio show in Summers Point, which will be making its premiere on Memorial Day weekend. Nicole, welcome to Hear from the Hawks. I'm told I don't even need to ask you a question. I just need to say your name and you'll start talking.
Actually, that sounds about right. I'm sure you probably got that from Lynn. Thank you for having me, Joe. I've seen you on TV so many times. I've tried to compare my bracket with yours. It doesn't match up this year, but maybe next year. I'm glad we started this friendship.
Likewise. The difference is, as my dad used to say, I have a face for radio, and I think you can probably aspire to greater things than that.
Maybe the TV screen.
Exactly. Hey, some of us make our career in front of the camera, some from behind. But you're going to be a teacher on your way to being a national sports center anchor, apparently. Tell us about your path to St. Joe's.
I was actually a late recruit. I committed very late for college sports. I committed July before my senior year. I think that decision for me was the greatest thing I ever did because I didn't know where I wanted to go to college. It was wherever I can play field hockey. And to some extent, that's where I ended up. But everything that came after committing to St. Joe's has been so great. I love the education program. I think it's top notch and it can't be beat. I was placed in a classroom right away. So I really knew that I wanted to be a teacher. Just all the different placements I've had too. I've been in Roxborough. I'm in Strawberry Mansion right now doing student teaching. I've seen it all and I feel extremely prepared. And St. Joe's is just unmatched for me.
Wow. I mean, I hope we recorded that because that is certainly something that can be part of the pitch to ongoing recruiting. Let me go back in reverse order here. Your seniors, your captains, you're probably involved when prospective student athletes make their visits, I would imagine. And, what do you tell them? Because let's face it, what you say is a little bit more granular and more true to life, the day-to-day, the foundation of what the program is. So pretend Coach wasn't here for the moment, that she was muted. What would you say about playing field hockey at St. Joseph's? Nicole?
It really has been one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. There truly is an adjustment period, and you have to tough that period out because if you give up in a sense, you're never going to reap the benefits that we've all experienced here. This is the place you want to be. You truly are going to grow as an individual, and you are supported every step of the way by the coaching staff, the administrators, and your teammates.
Cassidy?
Yeah, completely agree with what Fenton said. I think about something one of my other seniors, Sarah Hayes, always says is if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I think that speaks volumes to, the group that we have here and that we've had on Hawk Hill. Being a student athlete, Division I, it's not easy, but like Fenton said, you reap the rewards of it, not only field hockey wise or as a student, but as a person. You grow with challenges and you see things differently. You see adversity as opportunity, and you work hard to accomplish something, and you value your team over individual. And that's something in life, not just in the workplace, but in a family setting. Like, life isn't just about number one. So I think being a part of a team, I think we've all been a part of a team our whole life. That's something that is so valuable and intangible in a way. And, you can't really explain it to somebody unless you go through it. And in terms of like what you tell recruits, from us, we try to be as honest as possible. And that, it takes a lot to win and to be a championship program. And that's what we, want to build. That's what we want to cultivate here. So we're honest about expectations, but honest too about the support and the other areas outside of field hockey that are, great here at the university. And I think people find that attractive, and, who wouldn't want to be a part of a championship program? And you have a great coaching staff with Lynn and Alyssa, Martu and Beth and Caroline Nichols. We have some national team members that are part of our coaching staff. So you're getting coached by the best, the top level, and getting an awesome education and through a Jesuit university.
Jordan, same question for you, but I want to add, translating those life skills into a career like medicine, where, not every day is going to be a good day.
Yeah. Well, going off of like what I say to recruits, because obviously we do want to be honest. The thing that I like to emphasize, which I think makes our program special, where you can't find everywhere, is the emphasis on person over player. So I think you're going to find a lot of programs that are very competitive and have high level hockey. But I think what makes us special is we really place an emphasis on building your person over your player. So it's not all about who you are as a player, it's how you grow as a person, and the character traits that you build throughout your process here on Hawk Hill. So that's something that I like to tell recruits. It's like really important to think about what happens after you're done playing. So I know like a lot of people say that you're going to be lost after field hockey's over. But for me, I don't think, like, obviously I'm going to be really sad when I leave, but I don't feel like I'm going to be lost, because I feel like our program has prepared me to go out into the real world, especially a career in medicine. I do feel really prepared to experience those days when there's not so good days. And I experience things that I think that St. Joe's Field Hockey has prepared me for those moments where I experience something that's really hard to process. I feel like I've experienced that here. So I feel prepared that I'm going to be resilient through those experiences and be a better doctor because of them. So I think that's something that's really unique to our program, is building the character over building the player, which I tell that to all of our recruits.
Lynn, it really is remarkable, and obviously a reflection on you and your staff and the athletic department as a whole. Just how, kind of grounded and connected to real life these guys come across, and their families and their high school preparation as well. But what can you tell us about this year's team playing in the spring for the first time? Hopefully the only time, right? And you've only been able to get out there, what, 3 times in in real games because of everything, and now you're trying to squeeze it in here in this last month or so of the semester. And yet you're still ranked. I guess what I'm saying nicely is, how good are the Hawks?
Well, that was a loaded statement, Joe. I'm not sure where to start. The spring
We'll find a way.
Oh, yep. The spring has brought definitely, well, even the weather was something
Yeah.
that was unexpected for it hit us up for a month. So again, with some of the things we struggled with, our women's rowing team saved us. They helped us tremendously on being able to find a place to go. And then I will say our program has been able to take steps forward because of people who have come in and said, I like what you're doing. And they hear our team and they say, I want to be a part of it. So from Patrick Durbin, who's an alum, who's come in and been a huge supporter, even some of our on-campus people with Peter Nornberg coming in, I think spoke to Cassidy with her decision-making to transfer. The O'Briens are supporting Fenton. We're a group that we're workers, and they know when they come in, we are very honest. So what you see is what you get. I think that's why they're grounded, is because it's not about the flash. It's about, I'm going to take risks. I'm going to invest in something. And part of these guys are leaving and they know that a legacy is important. So you're probably going to laugh at this one, but Fenton's going to name our field one day. It's going to be Fenton Field, and she's going to figure out how to do that. So we're talking about what it means to give back too, and giving back can look like so many different things. I just mentioned some of our alums that have come in and spoke to us, and perspective adds value. So all of those things I think really helps on who we are. And that goes back to Jordan. If we can be strong people and feel this power of team and ignite that passion, then those are the things you're seeing on that scoreboard. And the beauty is we do it because we love it. So we got 3 games in, and we're looking to come back with a fire. And if you don't have fire, why do it? So we don't go through the motions. We're all in, and that's something that we know about. And Fenton mentioned it's not easy all the times, especially when, like I said, change is happening all the time. And as people, we're not used to that change, but we look at the bigger picture, we dig deep. And if we can do that here, the next step is going to be easy. We're going to be able to take those interviews. We're going to be able to be parents or on the Hill, get her autograph now, Joe, all of them. Never know where they're going to end up.
Maybe, I totally agree.
Maybe with you on ESPN, you and Fenton, I could see it.
I could definitely see Fenton. Yeah. Calling people just by their last name, is something that it takes some getting used to for me. But
I think this group will be fun to watch. So keep an eye out. After Easter, we're going to hit it strong, and we're going to see what kind of mark we can make on A10. And then we know if that's strong, then our next mark is NCAA. And that's a goal that we had set regardless of COVID. So we hit some performance barriers, but we have our strategies in place, and we're going to go after it and see if it works.
Lynn, there still is obviously a planned, NCAA Division I field hockey tournament that normally it takes place in November, and now will take place later in the spring. As a member of the NCAA Division I field hockey committee, of course, I admire that on many levels, but what do we need to do to position ourselves for that NCAA tournament bid?
You know this, Joe, you got to win games. So well, like I said, we got that fire that we have to perform in the A10.
And how is the rest of the A10 looking, particularly with all the scheduling and COVID challenges? Are teams getting games in? Do you think it'll be the same level at the A10 tournament?
Well, we played some top teams in the mix, and we've been watching games. I mean, we hit Syracuse, who had played in the fall, and that was our first game back, and we had a really good run. And we did almost a back-to-back we hit it hard in March. So this group knows the level we need to work to get where we want to get. And we're seeing it every year in tournament time. And this truly is March Madness because we have everything going on. But the beauty of sport is anything can happen. And when you get the opportunity, you have to be ready. And it's that day, what counts? Can you put it all together?
I should know this, but I know, where is the A10 tournament this year?
It goes to the highest seed. So we have our two pods, and then 2 from each pod go to the tournament, and the highest seed hosts. So to be determined.
So it could be at Ellen Ryan Field later this spring.
You never know.
Well, I've seen some successful things happen there over the years.
Yeah, we love playing at home.
And now there's an opportunity for, I guess, spectators at outdoor events, and that can't hurt, right?
That's
Let me
been
ask. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's been great to have the spectators back. I think these guys are really excited. It's a slightly different feel. I mean, of course, the health and safety is important. So these guys and their parents, we love the game itself, and they all have supporters of the program. So I think the families really miss the tailgates. However, they are so excited to be able to watch games. A lot of institutions don't offer that. So sometimes you'll see the fans along the fence trying to peek in because they can't get into the venue. So we love our supporters. One of my favorite memories too was one of our championship games. We were hosting the tournament at Ellen Ryan, and these guys remember in Villiger, the students in Post-it notes on the windows in the beginning of the game, it was good luck. And at the end of the game, they reshuffled it to congrats. Fans were around the field. So we love our location. We love the atmosphere of bringing people out. So yeah, we're excited to have people.
Hey, just to go outside and watch a sporting event, it almost doesn't matter what it is, but I'll be along the fence in a month. You know that.
Isn't it amazing? When we had no sports, life was it was missing something.
Yeah, I had to try to play golf, and that usually doesn't go very well. All right, we asked this in all of our episodes, and I'm going to start with the student athletes, and that is, our motto, our crest, our way of life. The Hawk will never die. See, there it is, right there over the shoulder. Jordan, what does that phrase mean to you?
Well, on our team, we talk a lot about legacy. So the Hawk will never die definitely screams legacy and pride to me. We talk a lot about having a deep why behind the things you do. So we talk about the things that we do at practice, how hard we work is not just for our team right now, but it's laying the ground for people to come after us, and it's building on what people have done before us. So I think that the Hawk will never die just screams legacy to me, and you're doing things for a much bigger purpose than yourself.
Cassidy, how about you? They didn't have the Eagle will never die at BC, did they?
No, they didn't. I was going to say it's something really, unique. I don't think I've heard anything like that at another school. And I totally agree with what Jordan said. Legacy is a huge part of the program, and this team as well. We've gone to call ourselves Team 46. It's our 46th team. So that's something really cool and new this year that encompasses that legacy aspect. I think the Hawk will never die just speaks to the resiliency, the legacy, and just the character and the grit of all the St. Joe's athletics. And just talking about how the Hawk lives on, not only just in your current time here, but we have a really strong alumni network as well. That was told to me when I first came here. So that's something really important. Once a Hawk, always a Hawk. And, the experiences you have on Hawk Hill are really unique, not just athletically, but, academically as well. So it just speaks to the culture that the institution has and the institution that athletics has as well. And especially for the field hockey team, the legacy portion of that as well.
Fenton, how about you?
I just love the Hawk will never die. It's that universal phrase that if you're even wearing something SJU, it's not uncommon for someone to stop you or just scream "the Hawk will never die" at you. It just, to me, it represents how small but mighty this school is. It's really unique in the sense that I don't think there's any institution this small, but that carries this much volume. It seems like everyone has a connection to St. Joe's, and I've really loved being a part of that, and I will look to continue to be a part of that my entire life and really embrace this journey I've been on for the past 4 years.
Lynn, do you think we should maybe launch a GoFundMe campaign to get Fenton out of that cinder block jail she's been in the last couple of days on these prep calls and
this room really means a lot to me. So I've been student teaching this entire time, which is what I should have been doing in the spring. In a normal spring, I wouldn't have field hockey practice. So I want to give a shout out to my school, the Richard Wright School in Strawberry Mansion, and Lynn and all my teachers for being so accommodating. They gave me this classroom so I could virtually student teach, and then I could leave early and run straight to practice because I am late to practice every single day. Just trying to find that balance between student teaching and playing has been something I never thought I would do, but I'm thankful for the experience and the opportunity and how understanding everyone's been. So that's why I'm in this cinder block room. I should have jazzed it up for you, I guess.
No, it's quite all right. Quite all right. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't, part of some early incarceration program or something that's going on there.
Fenton,
Lynn,
wait, take the GoFundMe, take it.
Okay, we'll take it. All right, Joe. I just
I'm
didn't
sure
want
that's a violation. I'm sure that's a violation. After graduation,
just kidding, Reenie.
you want to meet down the shore, then we can discuss that. Lynn, you've embraced the Hawk will never die probably without even knowing what it was before you got here, but I can't think of anybody else on staff who really embodies it as much as you do. So is it corny or is it real?
Oh, well, I think that's an honor, Joe. Thank you so much. I had no idea what it was initially. However, when I came in, fell in love with it because again, everything that these guys said, I couldn't say it better. It's a spirit. It embodies something before you and after you. And one of my favorite quotes is the Emerson quote about what lies within you is stronger than anything you're going to face. So it's something that we really finding a way and we can go back to. And I mean, it was a hashtag before hashtags were even a thing. So yes, it's huge, and it's kind of like the heart of our program, and it's at our field right now, and it's something we look back. So I think it's definitely real. And it's amazing too. So the Hawks, when they fly over the field, it's a symbol, right? So it goes back to that. We get excited. We take photos with these crimson and gray Hawks that go over us. So again, it's just our journey is bigger than us, and we can do it, and you believe, and it can happen.
A little trivia, and you can use this on your next recruiting pitch. When the Barberland Tower was built in 1927, it was the highest point in Philadelphia. And because of the Hawks flying around it, that's how we became Hawk Hill, because it was the highest point in the city. And you have continued to help keep St. Joseph's at an incredible height. You and all of your team, especially the three outstanding student athletes we got to hear from today. So I want to thank Cole and Cassidy and Jordan and all of your teammates. Lynn, I keep my clicker on ESPN Plus, when we have the opportunity to see games, and I look forward to being out there in the spring later on to cheer you guys on, hopefully to another A10 crown and NCAA tournament bid. So thank you all for your time. We'll wave to our friends and audience and parents and the legacy that you've created in the past, and surely what is still to come. And as the hashtag says, together, the Hawk will
never
indeed
die.
never die. Thanks everyone for watching. And Lynn and ladies, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.